Fascinating conversation right there with Jason La Canfora. If you're just joining us, talking about Russell Wilson in Seattle and how he tweeted out about Russell Wilson's lack of protection and was a record number of times being sacked over the first 9 years of a career. And this is something that bears watching in terms of how Russell Wilson and his camp view it. And that set off a whole bunch of hoo-ha, if you will. And you're still hearing, hey, people are calling up Seattle and offering a whole bunch of stuff, and Seattle's telling everyone to pound sand. And then you read stories, it'll take 3 firsts to get them. And so I asked Jason, how much there is there? What is going on? And his response was exactly the way I hear things about how every front office in the NFL views players and player acquisition. Whether you've got a player or you're trying to acquire a player. Now, I'm sure this is the same thing for front offices across all sports. But as he pointed out, hey, they like the guy, but every professional athlete has got a price for their services, not just contractually, but to be acquired by somebody else. No sacred cows. And so, Russ, there's a price. And door A is to keep Russell where he is. And door B is somebody has hit that price for them to basically say door A is not nearly as palatable anymore as accepting the door B price. That's the way I view every NFL front office is looking at everybody. In this league, where 53 men are on the roster, and, everybody's one snap away from potentially no longer playing the sport. That's the way everybody's viewed. Which is why I take that template and place it on what's going on with the Houston Texans. Door A is you stick with a guy who is dynamite in the locker room, dynamite on the field, dynamite in the community. You've got him under contract for a very long time. He's 25 years old. He's Deshaun freaking Watson. And that's door A, where he's your guy, except he doesn't want to be your guy. And he's expressed he doesn't want to be your guy. And at some point, he's going to express it with a microphone attached to his lapel or in front of his face. And that's just going to make it even worse. He has said he has wanted a trade demand through his representation. They've made it public. They try to keep it private. It became public. And that's door A. And to me, door B, where you can replenish all the draft choices that your previous Patriots South administration traded away. And you can take, yes, the slings and arrows within your community of trading this guy away on the heels of releasing J.J. Watt. But door B is if you've got a new GM and a new coach whose hiring does not at all change the position of the quarterback sitting in door A of wanting to stay there, and you've decided these are your guys, you're going to build with these guys, go and take door B, which is an insane amount of draft choices. And door B, the door is becoming more and more jammed to open with each passing day. And if you think door A is something you can still walk through, I think you're out of your minds. But I don't think they're looking at this with door A and door B. That's the thing you're hearing is there's only one door. There's no two doors. There's just one door. And I'm taking my general approach of knowing the NFL, and that's what Jason basically just said is going on in Seattle and is going on with pretty much every player in the league with the exception of maybe 2 handfuls. I don't get it. Door B is insanely attractive. And I'm not saying this as a Jet fan hoping Deshaun Watson winds up in New York. I'm not. I'm just saying this is door A is door A, and that's just not changing. And at some point, they're going to have to look at door B, and if I'm them, do it sooner rather than later. But it looks like they're not looking at this situation like that, and I think eventually they're going to come around to this scenario, and sooner rather than later. I'd be stunned if they keep walking through door A, which is like letting him hold out and going through something ugly. Hour number 2, your phone calls, 844-204-RICH and more. See what I'm saying?
I do see what you're saying.
Because door B, to me, they should be all over that right now.
Yes, but door A, also great. Deshaun Watson was a top 5 quarterback this year.
Yeah, but he's not going to be that guy for you.
No, he clearly wants out.
I mean, if you are going to just smother the situation and hope that he will go through off-season workout program and training camp appearing, and you just put this back in the bottle.
Hope it goes
and
away.
You think that when adversity hits in week 2, week 4, week 6, week 8, his media availability every time, that you think it's just going to be like nothing ever happened, I think is absolutely insane. Take a look at Aaron Rodgers' situation. The whole Jordan Love drafting got, discussed. Brett Favre came on this show and characterized Aaron Rodgers' disbelief. That made some news. Aaron Rodgers showed up on our buddy Kyle Brandt's podcast, talked about needing a stiff drink. That made some news. And then he said he went and meditated about it and kumbaya, and he won 13 games and took home the MVP and quietly got engaged to Shailene Woodley and dropped that when he accepted the award for the MVP, and all that was happening in his life. And we thought this whole thing with Jordan Love was bottled up. But then the soon-to-be announced MVP with 13 wins and a home date in the NFC Championship game, that's as great a scenario as you can have without making the Super Bowl and winning it. Short of going to the Super Bowl and winning it, what's more of an amazing year than what Aaron Rodgers put on that field, not only personally for his stats, but for his team for 13 wins, and personally in his life, where everything was in total, Jupiter was aligned with Mars. And even with all that, he uncorks the Jordan Love thing in a post-game press conference. You think Deshaun Watson's going to be bottled up for a team that just won 4 games? You're out of your minds.
With a bad history.
You're out of your minds. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.